Hello, YouTube. I'm your host, Tim Hayes, and welcome back to the Tim Hayes YouTube channel. And welcome to another toy haul. And as you can see, the diorama behind me has changed quite a bit. My mother, she had to change the tablecloth, so I had to dismantle the streets of Mos Eisley I cannot talk tonight. The streets of Mos Eisley Diorama playsets. Now you can see all three of them connected into one long street, and I have the box to one of them behind one of the archways, and as you can see, I found my Amazing Spider-Man retro figure, so I have him standing in front of the box, which has the closed doorway at one of the Streets of Mos Eisley playsets on it, and you can see the Amazing Spider-Man with his one amazing friend to his right, Iceman, and then his other amazing friend, the Marvel superheroine, Firestar. And since last time I had the first door to one of these buildings open, and I had Luke going inside with R2, D2, and a Jawa following C-3PO in. Well, I took them out. But you see, I put R2 back. Doing a little bit of a Return of the Jedi scene here. I've got Sandstorm Leia there. And I added in a Power of the Force Bush's Bounty Chewbacca with a Power of the Force, or a vintage collection Jedi Knight Luke's cloak. And then I have a Power of the Force 2 Skiff Disguise Lando Calrissian in another Jedi Knight Luke's cloak, so I customized those to be in Sandstorm gear, since I don't have the Sandstorm versions of Lando and Chewie, but I have Leia one, which is just the Jabba the Hutt slave girl Leia underneath. And I've got the Ewok Village throne version of C-3PO from Return of the Jedi behind them. And then, since I don't have a Return of the Jedi modern R2-D2, I've got R2 from Empire Strikes Back modern version. So, and you'll see in just a minute why I set up a Jedi Sandstorm scene in this Tatooine Streets of Mos Eisley diorama. Yeah, it was last month I bought a few more action figures, all off of eBay, and one is the Sandstorm Jedi Knight Luke. And I also bought a Sandstorm Han Solo, and this was a deleted scene in Return of the Jedi. From right after they defeat Jabba the Hutt and escape. They have to go through a sandstorm going on in the desert on their way back to the Millennium Falcon. And since I I'm getting one of those Mos Eisley cantinas. I also bought a couple of cantina patrons from eBay seller. One is called Pons Limbic, and he's got a head kind of like Brainiac from DC Comics, and was an enemy of Superman along with the Justice League, and he had a big old, it was like a robotic villain, but he had a big old robotic brain on the top of his head, and this guy's got a big old brain you can see. Externally on his head. And he comes with the gun, and he's got a little cantina table you can put together, and then he's got a droid factory part to R2L3. It's just one of the legs. And then since I got one that's known as Brainiac, I had to get one female one. Call her Brainiette. Lisa Serland, who's another patron of the Mos Eisley Cantina, and she also comes with a gun, and she's got her own little drinking cup. And then she comes with a droid factory part. That's a leg to build R4P44. See? And you can see down here, I added a Return of the Jedi character in the cloak. That's one eye patch guy from Return of the Jedi. Some people think, oh, well, he's a bad guy from Jabba's palace. No. You see, blink and you'll miss him. He's in the Rebels briefing room for their little meeting. Where they're all talking about how to destroy the second Death Star and go to Endor. Yeah, that guy's Rebel, and I added in a couple more Marvel superheroes. The man called Nova, and who's in the yellow and blue, and then the green and yellow guy with the yellow cape. That is Marvel's Vision. And I bought the new Star Wars Vintage Collection. Dr. Evison, who's Mos Eisley Cantina patron, along with Muftak, and that's an X-17 custom figure, which he's selling out, and once he's gone, from the next 17, he's gone. Next 17's not making any more of him. And then I've got a modern Star Wars Vintage Collection Jawa talking to the other one of the Jawas that came with one of these play sets. And you can see, got my plastic Return of the Jedi Princess Leia cut that has her in the slave girl bikini. So I'm going to be opening these packages up. And setting the figures up so I can complete the Rebels' escape through the sandstorm on Tatooine, and set up little Mos Eisley Cantina scene as well. So I'll be back after this quick video break. Okay, I'm back. Now let's take a look. You can see I've got all the Sandstorm original trilogy heroes all set up. Got Luke with his goggles on, holding his lightsaber, and Leia's goggles are on along with Han's, and I had to put Han's gun in his belt, and I gave Han and Chewie Leia's stolen skiff guard weapon. And yeah, I don't really have them holding hands. It's kind of hard to do. I've got them all close together, and the droids are following. And here's some Cantina patrons. Next 17, Muftak, and then Pons Limbeck. Also known as Brainiac, and then that's Lisa Serlin. Let's see. That's Han and what's his name? So Return of the Jedi Heroes, and Spider-Man and his amazing friends, Boosh, Leia, and Vincent Price's Raven and Vincent Price. I put Muftak's big old gun behind him, and Brainiac and Brainiette. Only one of them comes with a drinking cup, so she's holding it up to give a toast. And I got her gun. And you can see it tucks into her foot. And I got Prune, I believe this is Prune Face right there. Yeah, Lisa Serlin, and then Pons Limbeck, Muftak, and then Prune Face. Stand in for Cantina patron. And Pons Limbeck, aka Brainiac. Let me show you. See, he's got his gun tucked in right there. So Brainiac's telling Brainiac, let's toast to freedom from the Imperial Empire. Meanwhile, in Return of the Jedi, Luke liberated slave Leia along with Captain Han Solo and Chewbacca, and Lando Calrissian and C-3PO and R2-D2 are making their way through a sandstorm on their way back for Millennium Falcon. And then Jawa was leaving his little house, and then Vision standing guard at the door, along with the Jawa and the man called Nova, and Dr. Evison is standing guard outside, and then I got a little Jawa sitting down. So the Cantina patrons, Muftak, Brainiac, Brainiette, and Pruneface filling in for a patron. And Brainiette is giving a toast to the end of the evil Imperial Empire, since the Empire is after her. And there's a Return of the Jedi heroes, and Spider-Man and his amazing friends, Iceman to his right, and the lovely superheroine Firestar to his left. Okay, one more thing. Before I end, close-up of the Sandcrawler Jawa and Dr. Evison. Yeah, I don't know if you can see him any clearer. Let's see if I can adjust it. I think that's as best as I can get it. Man called Nova and Marvel's Vision. Two Marvel superheroes, so having them join Muftak, Brainiac, and Brainiette, and Pruneface. So I hope you enjoyed this toy haul video and diorama video. So keep an eye out for a physical media video coming soon to my channel. So I'm Tim Hayes, and thanks for watching. Good night.